meet in the kitchen of the apartment I'm renting. It's a room that was originally in a state where it's easier to lock up and forget than to claim, but he likes it. He's cozy. He feels good amongst all that old master junk, dust, soot, and dried spider corpses. My friend, he's a little weird. He always brings a thermos of creepy instant coffee and pours it into plastic cups. I'm not sure it's coffee. To me, that's the flavor and smell of any disgusting brew. Knowing my friend, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just watered down mud or something. I don't drink it since I noticed a boiled cockroach in my serving of liquid, but I pretend to drink it. I don't like to offend my friends. We always have a hard time starting a conversation. We're not very social at all. I have a few coworkers at work with whom I talk strictly business, and sometimes I count short conversations with cashiers in stores as successful social contact. And my friend only gets out of his house and into my kitchen. So for the first half hour, we get used to the feeling of another person around. I usually look out the window. It's translucent with dirt, and you can't see anything but tree branches behind it, and the occasional headlight. Where my friend is looking, I don't know. Probably in his plastic cup or a spider web. He always talks first. He's the one with no one else to talk to. I have cashiers and coworkers. He asks how I'm doing and if I've stopped having nightmares. It's almost like a password. He can't ask if I'm still seeing these weird things. I mean, we're realists. We don't believe in that kind of stuff. I glance up at the creature nesting on my ceiling. It smiles at me with its mouth full of creepy food and continues to chow down on its food. Yes, I reply, I still have nightmares. My friend is confused. He doesn't know how to continue the conversation. He knows how much I dislike his attempts to soften the edges. I figure if he wasn't shy about dragging me into all of this, he shouldn't be shy about calling things as they are. He's the only one I can talk to, and I'm taking that chance. Yesterday, my boyfriend came over here. We were talking, fooling around. We were gonna have sex, but I felt like something was wrong. I didn't know what. You know, I was looking for an excuse, so I told him he didn't smell good after a day at work. And then I realized he really smelled. He pulled out some mints, even though it wasn't the breath. He didn't smell right. He gave me a couple too. He was on edge, I guess, so he started chewing on them. So did I. And then I noticed that he had too many teeth and too big a mouth, and that his teeth probably shouldn't grow all the way down his throat and be so sharp. And then I remembered that I don't have a boyfriend. You know, it wasn't as scary as the first few times. I didn't even look like anything was wrong. I said, ring, ring. It's my doorbell. I'll get it. You know, they don't know the difference between ringing the doorbell and faking it. They always buy it. I went to my roommate's room. She's nice. She doesn't have to explain. It was only there that I noticed I was chewing on glass, not candy. She put her arm around me and we sat like that all evening. She's really nice. She wouldn't let me go. You do remember you don't have a roommate, right? In no other rooms, my friend looks at me like I'm stupid. And I'm ashamed. I've never been so stupid before. Lucky the roommate wasn't aggressive. You have to be careful, he says. They're getting sneakier. I just went into the bathroom to shave like I always do. And then I remembered I didn't have a full length mirror, and that if I did, the reflection would have to look like me. Also, you grow a beard and don't shave. Now I could look at him like a fool too. But instead, we look at each other warily. I search my memory for any other episodes with this man to make sure he's not a Morlock himself. He's probably doing the same thing. My friend turns pale. He looks at me, still not to coffee. I know it's stupid. His voice becomes thin. It's fear, but if you don't take at least a sip from your cup right now, I'll just drink it, okay? I look into my glass and I'm disgusted. I don't know what's in it, but it's gross. It doesn't really seem like something that should go inside people. Those lollipops were gross too. I bring the glass to my lips and cover the thin trickle running down my chin with my hand. The neck of my sweater soaks up the liquid. See, it's okay. I'm human. I learned that trick from them. They don't drink or eat real food, but they're good at pretending. I'm sorry. It's just, if you spent so much time with your fictional roommate, I had to make sure. I guess he's really sorry. He starts to retell that story about the last person he socialized with, and after whom he decided to cut off all social contact. He was just like the real thing. Always dressed in season, always talked normally. You know, without those cheap tricks with false memories of conversations, I always remembered exactly what he said. Smelled good too. Must have been a lot of perfume. We met at a bar and dated there as well. Casual at first, I thought. Then we made appointments. It took him a long time to approach me, waiting for an invitation home. I did. We took a cab, got a nightcap. I was about to open the door, and he, well, started smiling. You know how they do it. And then I remembered I'd never seen him drink anything, never drank anything at all, in a bar. I hadn't noticed. My friend touched his shoulder. There were scars under his sweater. I sewed them myself with thread soaked in vodka. That was back when they needed my invitation. We don't talk. We don't really have anything else to talk about. Years ago, when this all started, our meetings were more heated. We discussed details, cried, and convinced each other we were imagining things. We'd flinch at every shadow outside the window and share our experiences. I said it was all his fault, that he was the one who suggested I make a quick buck selling skeletons as models to artists and medics. He said it was all my wild imagination, that we were students and needed the money, that it wasn't our fault. We drank a lot, came up with ridiculous solutions to the problem. Now we have nothing to talk about. I don't even know why we're still seeing each other. We've become very different. I'm being treated for schizophrenia, and my friend died 2 years ago.